welcome back to the channel. If you have literally just watched the last vlog, you will notice that I haven't moved. I am on my own today. Mike has gone out with some friends, so I took the opportunity to film some vlogs just to have content to put out there for you guys. And they're ones that I've wanted to be creative for a while. So here we are. Today's vlog, I should say, if you're new around here, I'm Kelly. I'm a bit mad. I don't care. I am my own person. I love creating these vlogs and putting the content on the channel. I am mad for charity shops, Disney. I do love a bit of a lifestyle vlog, but I don't really create them myself. So if that's something that you'd like, please comment below and leave some love on this vlog. This vlog is something totally new for me. I am going to do about books. Books. That's literally all I talk at the minute. I feel like I have my own little language called books. I have read so much recently. I've really got back into reading. I think for quite a few years I had a bit of a reading slump where I didn't read at all, couldn't get into anything. And then the last year or so, it's just gone whew. I am reading more than I've ever read before. I'm reading quicker than I've ever read before. And I am here for it. And it is here to stay. So a lot of the books that I'll go through today are either ones that I've read, ones that I have got to read that I'm looking forward to reading, or I will also cover ones that I did not sadly finish. There are a couple and I'm gutted. I'm really gutted. So I will say a lot of the books that I will cover today, I actually don't have a physical copy of. So myself and one of my good friends, we interchange books. So when we read a book, we swap. We have our own little book club. We don't read the same book at the same time in that respect, but we both buy books from anywhere and everywhere. We love car boots, we love charity shops, all that kind of thing. So we always just swap books when we finish them. So a lot of them have gone to her, so I don't have the physical copy. So for those ones, I will just get a screenshot from Google of the cover. Why did I forget that word? I will get a screen grab of the cover and I will post it into the vlog for you so you know what to look for if it's a book that you think you would like to read. So let's get started. I would also just like to know, so I've noticed this a lot in the local surrounding villages in York. So I think there's one in Stillington, there's one in Aldwalk as well. Places like that, little villages, they will quite often have their old red telephone box turned into a little library. You can go in there, people in the local village put books in. I normally, when I go to one, I normally take a book to put in. So when I take something out, I'm not leaving it so empty because I'll just go like that. So I normally take a book to put in its place, but keep an eye out for these because they are great. They are like a little free little library in local villages. So keep an eye out. They're not always libraries. Sometimes they're defibrillators. Don't go looking if they're a defibrillator. You aren't going to find any books in there. But a lot of them are little libraries in villages. So keep an eye out if you like books. So I'm just looking on my Goodreads. I've got it up on my iPad because I normally use the one on my phone, but obviously using my phone to film. I will, if you want to follow me on Goodreads or if you want to become friends and, we can chat on there and everything, please find me. So there's a woman outside and I just went like that and then she went, I was like, hi, stop looking from my front window. Sorry, it's completely thrown me off. So I'm just going to go back and look at what books I have read. Show all 24 books. So my Goodreads, I don't know about anybody else, I have only recently just started using Goodreads to its full potential. So a lot of the books I have read aren't actually on here. So let's have a look and see where we start. The first book that I'm going to talk about is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now, if you're one of the very few lucky people that haven't read this book, read it. I think it is my favourite book of all time. It is actually incredible. It is so good. I gave it 5 stars, but I wish I could have given it more. It's just, it's everything I love in a book. It's old, glamorous Hollywood, 1940s to 1970s. Like, that is the era I love. So I'll just read a quick little bit from the blurb. So, aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job, no one is more astounded than Miss Monique herself. Why her? Why now? There's a lot more, but basically she goes through her life, tells it from starting to get famous to being this big icon and to where she is now, and you just fall in love with her. I love Evelyn Hugo. I wish she wasn't a fictitious person because I would love to meet her. I think she'd be fabulous. And it's by an author called Taylor Jenkins Reid, who I've read a few of her others, and she is such an expressive author. So when you're reading about Evelyn Hugo and she goes to this award ceremony or whatever it is, movie premiere, in a green dress, and she explains it, how she looks, and you can visualize it. She is so good. I won't give away the twist at the end of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but it is jaw-dropping. Please, if you love books, read it. Read it. I cannot recommend this highly enough. I've recommended it to so many people because it is just my favourite. I think it's up there with Where the Crawdads Sing, actually. I think it might have been overtaken. But yeah, go read it. It's fantastic. So there is another 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe another 4 books that I'm going to group together. I gave these all 5-star last year. So there is How to Kill Men and Get Away with It by Katie Brent. That's interesting. It's about this girl who's really big on like social media, and she ends up accidentally killing a guy and then gets away with it, and then it happens again and again. It's brilliant. I really loved it. I picked it up from the works for like a few £, not thinking anything of it, and I read it really quick. That got me back into reading. The next one I read was The No Show by Beth O'Leary. I will never tire of Beth O'Leary's writing. Beth O'Leary is such an easy read, and I feel like with Beth O'Leary, she's one of those authors for me where I can pick up a book by her. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I just know I'm going to love it. It's brilliant. It's about 3 women all dating the same guy, but all is not what it seems, and it only twigged with me at about 75% of the way through. Brilliant. The next one that I'll say is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Now, this was all over my TikTok, everywhere, and it's more of a YA, a young adult, like crime style book, but I really enjoyed it. I read it in under a week, I think. It was really good. I loved how because she was doing an EPQ, she was doing like her coursework, it was all in different formats. It wasn't just read chapter after chapter. There was like maps in there, there was diagrams, there was all sorts of things in there. It was really good, really enjoyed it. I gave that one 5 stars as well. I don't know if I'd read, I have heard very good things about the 2nd and 3rd one in that series, but I don't know if I'd read them because they don't have the same kind of format. It is just chapter after chapter, but I might do once I've got the rest of my TBR down. And then the 4th one that I want to talk about as another 5-star read for me last year was They Both Die at the End by Adam Silver. This was another one. Oh, Adam Silvera, sorry. I always call him Silver. This was another one that I was just in awe of the story. So it's basically about a world where it's like here, it's set in New York, but it's basically in a time where there is a team of people that call, I can't remember what they're called because I read it so long ago. They call you between midnight and 3 a.m. to tell you if you're going to die in that 24 hours. In the next 24 hours, you are going to die at some point. That is basically the call you get. And it's about these two boys who both get the call to say it's their last day on Earth. And you then basically get to decide how you want to live your last 24 hours, which for somebody that's so scared of death, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it that much, but I absolutely loved it. They basically meet up on like a social media page which is dedicated to these people that are on their last day, and they become good mates for the last 24 hours. Obviously you know where it's going, but the whole book is spaced over 24 hours, and it just feels so good, and it's so heartwarming. It's great. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it, and I think it would be one of those it's a lovely, like, wholesome read, even though it doesn't, you know, it's not going to end in the nicest way, but it's a really good read. So that's another one that I would highly recommend. I did give these 4 books 3 stars. Now, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, I saw good things about, again, on my TikTok. I follow a YouTuber and a social media content creator called Brogan Tate, and she raved about it because she seems so familiar to me in terms of how much she loves Disney, books, everything like that. So I thought I'd give it a go. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. It wasn't for me. I just felt like there was a lot of actual bits in it that weren't needed. But yeah, so please go read it though. They are nice, easy reads. But I just didn't think a lot of it was necessary, and it could have been shorter. The second one, please don't hate me, any Colleen Hoover fans, but I did not rate It Ends With Us. I've got a lot of other Colleen Hoovers to read because I've heard great things about other ones of hers, but It Ends With Us fell flat for me. I didn't expect it to take a 50 Shades of Grey style twist. I didn't like the guy in it. I can't remember his name. I felt really sorry for her. But it took me a lot to get into it. It wasn't until about halfway through that I couldn't put it down, and I wanted to finish it and get through and see what happened. So yeah, it was only a 3-star read for me, but I know it has got very good reviews by others. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, loved. I thought it was so cute. Just the nicest little autumnal story. But that's all it was. It wasn't anything life-changing. It wasn't awe-inspiring. It was just a cute little read. Hence why I gave it 3 stars. Nice and easy. And Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also gave that 3 stars. I did like it. It's written very different to other books that I've read. So it's more on, like they're doing an interview, like a documentary. Enjoyed it, enjoyed the concept, enjoyed the story. I think I was maybe expecting a lot more after Evelyn Hugo and how much I loved it. So yeah, so there's some 3-star reads from the year. I'm going to do one book as an honourable mention. Now, I didn't think I would do this, if I'm honest. I saw this book on the shelf in the works last year, and I thought, I don't read thrillers. I just don't read them. I only read like cute stories about a couple or romance, or, you know, I mean, I know I read How to Kill Men and Get Away With It, but it was more about the powerful woman and, you know, that side of it. So when I saw this book, I thought, I'll give it a go. It was in the works. It was £2.50. I hadn't seen anybody talk about it, but it sounded really good. I am so glad I did. I am so glad I picked it up. I cannot believe there are people in the world that get to read this book for the first time. That book is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I read this so quick. I did not want to put it down. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It fully got me into thrillers. I have been and bought the second one, which I keep putting off reading because I almost don't want to read it because I know that there's a third one coming out later this year. So yeah, The Housemaid, fantastic. Absolutely loved it. It's about a girl called, I think she's called Millie. I loved it so much, but I've forgotten her name. Yeah, let me just check Goodreads. Yeah, she's called Millie. So Millie is recently out of prison and she goes to work for a family called the Winchesters, Nina and Andrew, and Nina's daughter. I can't remember her name. Anyway, she goes to live with them as a housemaid. So she cooks, she cleans, she does the shopping, she does all that kind of stuff. Nina seems a bit crazy. Andrew seems totally normal. And it unfolds from there. Millie has her own room up on the top floor with a lock on the outside of the door. Yeah. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to ruin it. The twists and turns, it twists one way, the book, and then you're like, well, hang on. I'm halfway through and it's twisted this way, but it can't. And then it twists again and again and again. Oh my God, please, just go read. Just go read it. I would love to tell you that this is just my TBR. It's not. Sadly, it's not. I have a lot more books. I will put a video here of all my other books. In the conservatory, there is tons of them. These are just ones that I have picked up in about the last week from charity shops. I just wanted to come on and show what you can get from charity shops when you look. I don't buy full priced books. I don't, because I go and buy other people's secondhand ones, because like this one, where is it? Where's the Tessa Bailey one? This Tessa Bailey book, Hook, Line and Sinker. I bought this from a charity shop yesterday for £1.50. It says on the back the RRP is $9.99. The spine's not even been broken. I don't know if you can see that. It looks brand new. £1.50. £1.50. Shop in your charity shops for books, please. But that is the pile. Like I say, it's not my TBR. It's kind of a TBR, but it's my TBR on my bedside table. The video I showed you earlier is the whole TBR. Books that I'm really looking forward to in there. I've got another Taylor Jenkins read, Malibu Rising, so I'm very excited to read that one. I've seen this all over Facebook. I'm in a group on Facebook called the Good Housekeeping Book Room or Book Club, and a lot of people are on there saying about that. So that sounds interesting. Totally different one that I've never read before. Freida McFadden. I've got to love Freida McFadden. I've got some Christina Lorenz. I've got Elisa Jewell, which looks very dark. Very excited about that one. I also picked up 3 Lucy Clark books. Now 2 of these were on my list. Oh. It's all going wrong. So I didn't have this one on my list, but I saw it in a charity shop in my local village, came home, checked it on Goodreads. It was Lucy Clark's top rated book on Goodreads, so I went back for that yesterday. The Hike by Lucy Clark, again, looks really good. The perfect day for a hike, seeking the escape of a lifetime. 4 friends hike out into the beautiful Norwegian wild. Nothing between them and the mountain peak but forest, sea and sharp blue sky. The perfect place to disappear. But there's a darker side to the wilderness. A woman went missing here 1 year ago. Now the friends are hiking into the heart of the mystery, and waiting on the trail is someone who'd do anything to keep their secrets buried. And then this one. This was on my list and is still currently being sold for £8.99 on Amazon. And I picked it up in a charity shop yesterday for £1 whole British pound. It's The Castaways by Lucy Clark. This, I believe, is actually being made into a TV series with Sheridan Smith. I could be wrong, but I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. So I'm very looking forward to that one. Yeah, I have way too many books. too many on my TBR. I have also just found my old Kindle. Oh God, that screen's awful. I haven't used this in a very long time. I had to charge it, update it, but for when we go to Japan, I think I might take it. I prefer a normal book. I prefer a proper paper book. I just don't think there's anything better than that. But I think for space in luggage and for weight in luggage, I think I'm going to have to use my Kindle. So if you watched my vlog on my 2024 aspirations, you will have seen that in 2024, I want to read 24 books. And as I said in my vlog, it was 12, but one of my friends convinced me to up it to 24 because it's, what date are we on today? The 13th of Jan. And I mean, even by the 7th of Jan, I think I'd read 2 books. So, now you see why she told me to up it. So, the first book I finished in 2024 is called The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. This book disturbed me. It physically, mentally disturbed me, but I could not put it down. I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. I really liked it. It was one of those, I totally judged the book by a cover. I loved the colours. I then read the blurb. I think I got this in the works for about £3. Top tip. If in the town that you live in, like I have, you have a works in the city centre and a works in an outlet, go to your outlet. This in the one in York City Centre was £5. At the designer outlet at MacArthur Glen on the outskirts, it was £3. I know it's not much of a saving, but £2, like I just said, I got 2 books. I got a book from a charity shop for £1. That's 2 other books. Think. So yeah, this book is basically about these girls who, while they're in college in New York, they get wrapped up in a cult. With this big, powerful, toxic man at the head of it. They don't obviously realise how toxic it is at the time. He has them like cook for him. Obviously, he does other things with them. But he basically has them all as his wives. 2 escape. 1 dies. 1 kills herself. I won't say anything else. But then the other 2 that escape go their separate ways. Then when one of the 2 that escaped ends up dying and is deemed suicide, the other one thinks it's a bit weird. So she contacts one of her friends who runs a true murder podcast and they investigate into it. And it goes so deep into things in there. It's incredible. I love it. Shay is an absolute icon. I think she's incredible. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I give it 4 stars because there was something at the end. So I'm going to read this directly off my Goodreads because I remember writing this. My only reason for 4 stars is the ending. I really wanted to know what happened after the arrest. Hopefully that doesn't give anything away. So at the end, somebody is arrested and I wanted to know what happened after that, but it didn't. And I was like, ah! But I loved it. And after I finished it, I literally went, I was mad. But I really liked it. I've recommended it to a few people now. And she has actually written another book, Ashley Winstead, which I've seen all over my TikTok. So I think I might have to get that one. The next book I'm going to go through. Okay. I just thought it looked a bit spooky. I thought it looked just a bit like a thriller, you know, nice paper that it's printed on. Didn't really think anything of it. I read it in 48 hours. I read it in under 48 hours. I could not put this down. It is called Here to Stay by Mark Edwards. It is a guy and his wife. They meet, they have a whirlwind romance, they get married. Her in-laws then come to stay along with her sister. They initially say it's for a few weeks. They then start to show no intention of leaving. The in-laws are awful. They are the most awful people I have ever read in a book. And I've just read one about a cult. I wanted to punch these people. I loved this. I think this is absolutely brilliant. I don't even know where to begin. It just turns and twists. And even the last 2 chapters, it changes again and you're like, what? Well, what have I just read? Brilliant. I would say read this. If you're in a bit of a reading slump and you want something quick and easy and something that's just going to pull you in, this. Brilliant. Brilliant. I need to keep an eye out for more of his because apparently all his others are just as good. There's just not enough time in the day to read all the books I want to read. This is my problem. I'm just going to have to quit my job. I'm just going to have to quit my job and be like, I'm sorry, I can't come to work anymore because I just want to read more books. Sorry, not sorry. I need to work to pay for the books, so I'm not going to leave. Anyway, this has gone off on a tangent, so. I do, for this vlog, sadly have 2 DNFs. Now, they are do not finish. I have 2 books that since Christmas I have tried to read and I just could not get into them. And I feel like the whole of book talk is going to come from me. So I'm going to start on the first one. I think the second one will cause more uproar. But the first one that I could not finish was Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am gutted. I got to about a quarter of the way through and I just thought, I don't even really know what's happening. I know I'm not enjoying it. I know I've got other books that I would enjoy more. Yeah, I put it down and started on a new Frida McFadden. And I'm not sad about it. I will keep it and I will go back to it another time because I think Taylor Jenkins Reid is a fantastic author. She writes so well and it's obviously about a very strong female lead. So I will like it. I just think I need to give it more perseverance. But yeah, first DNF of 2024 is Carrie Soto is Back. I feel like people are really going to want to slap me for this one. But my second DNF for 2024. I can't believe it. I can't actually believe myself that I didn't finish. I got to about 100 and something pages. And I'm not loving it. I wanted to like this one so much. I had been after this for months. I put it on my Christmas list and I told myself, do not buy it for yourself. Wait for Christmas. It'll be worth the wait. I literally got it for Christmas and I started it Boxing Day. And after a few days, I was like, I don't know what's going on. Well, I did. The whole premise of the book is basically there is 2 friends that are authors. One of them dies and the friend that is left behind publishes the dead friend's manuscript as her own. And I felt like a lot of the story wasn't about that. It was more about how this white girl was writing a story about the Chinese in one of the wars and how she shouldn't have really. And I wanted it to be more of like psychologically she struggled with guilt because she'd published it. I wanted more of that. And I know people rave about it on TikTok. And I know it gets really good on Goodreads, but I just could not finish. Again, like Carrie Soto is Back, I will keep it and I will try again with it. I can't even tell you how gutted I am that I didn't finish it. And that I was just a bit disappointed. But yeah, sadly, Yellow Face, I just did not cut it for me. And I'm devastated. It hurts. It hurts. Thought I'd quickly show you the book that I'm currently reading. So this is my new little corner at the sofa. We've got a table there with a drink on. There's plug so I can plug my electric blanket in, and then my lamp angles down. And then I put my headphones on and I sit here on an evening while Mike's watching telly or doing some Lego, and I just sit and read. And the book I'm reading at the minute is called The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. And I'm already really liking it. I'm on chapter 7 already. They're very, very short chapters, so it's not like I'm miles through. But I think this was in the 3 for £6 deal at the works, which is excellent. And I'm really enjoying it. I really like her style of writing. She's very fast-paced. They're not big books, as you can see. They're like 300-ish pages, maybe not even 300, some of them, 306. They're just nice, easy, quick, fast-paced thrillers to read. And I'm really enjoying it. It's about a guy, well, it's about a girl, a daughter of a guy who was killing women in his basement, and he was found out, and it flits between that back then when it happened, before they found out, and the present day with her trying to go about her life as his daughter without trying to be recognised. So yeah, I only just started it. I will update my Goodreads as and when I finished it with my review on it. So if you want to follow me on there, like I say, please go ahead and find me. But that's the book I'm reading at the moment. So I hope you liked that little book vlog. It might have been very like it's my first one, so if you've enjoyed this kind of vlog, please comment below and tell me, because I'll do more. I mean, you've seen the amount of books I've got. I will do more book vlogs. I'd also like to take you charity shop book shopping with me. One time we'll maybe go a few different places and pick some out, and I'll show you the kind of things that they have on offer. When car boots are back up and running, I'm hoping that I can take you along with me to those as well. It just means I've got to get up super early on a Sunday. But I'm willing to do it for the bargains, for the bargain books. So I'm going to leave this vlog here. I'm going to go read some more of my book, get my electric blanket on, get my drink, get my light on, and I'm just going to have a chilled out afternoon before mine needs picking up. So please, if you, as I always say, if you don't follow and subscribe to me yet, please click the link below. I do try and vary my content so it's not all the same thing, but we have got Japan coming up next month, which is very exciting, and I'll hope that you come along with us for that. But please share the love, give us a like below. We love to see your comments as well from all over the world, and hopefully it won't be too long until we speak again soon. All right. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.